Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more political chatter. Today, we will be talking about the 2022 Senate race in the state of Colorado. This is a race for the United States Senate. So, in this race, we have Michael Bennet, the incumbent. He was elected, I believe, in 2010 was his first election. Yes, it was. He was elected in 2010. He was reelected in 2016, and he's running for a third term in 2022. So, as you can see, he is a pretty popular guy. Michael Bennet, he was a presidential candidate in the 2022 Democratic primaries. He is a very popular guy. I mean, he is more of your typical Democrat, but not one who supports universal health care. He's a more moderate one, but also with a kind of progressive feel to him. And this one is interesting, this race, because his opponent, Joe O'Dea, a businessman, not very well known, has been nominated by the Republican Party, yet he is not like your typical other Republican nominees. Let's take the Ohio Senate race. We have J.D. Vance, a Trump-endorsed election denier. In Pennsylvania, we have Dr. Oz, endorsed by Trump, a Trumpian Republican. In Georgia, we have another election denier, endorsed by Trump, Herschel Walker as the Republican nominee. But this Republican nominee, Joe O'Dea, is not like that. In fact, he went as far to say that Trump should not run in 2024. He will not be a Trump Republican if he is elected to the United States Senate. He will be more of a Mitt Romney or Lisa Murkowski type. Trump will not dominate his views, and they do not right now. He's smart by playing this. I live in the state of Connecticut. Polls were expecting, first of all, earlier polls were expecting Themis Claridis to win. I know you probably haven't heard of her. She's in the she used to be this state speaker of the House. But she was a more moderate Republican, still conservative, but Trump did not nominate her views. And polls were showing that it would be a 10-point race between her and Blumenthal, of course, with Blumenthal winning, but a likely margin kind of race. But Trump came in and endorsed this woman named Leora Levy. Levy was nominated because of that endorsement, and now the Republicans have no shot. So, Joe O'Dea, unlike someone like Levy, who all she cares about is Trump and makes Trump her only issue in a state that went to Biden by 25%, 20%, I was thinking of Rhode Island, she has no shot. It doesn't make any sense to do that. It makes sense to get that Trump endorsement in the primary. That's how she won. But come to the general election, that will harm you, a Trump endorsement in a Biden plus 20 state. Colorado was a Biden plus 13 state. And Joe O'Dea knows that a Trump endorsement, making his campaign about Trump, would hurt him. Maybe not in the primary, but come to the general after you've spent all your money, everything you have, all your energy, that will cost you the election. And I know this is the state of Colorado. I just said it was a Biden plus 13 state. And the Republican, Joe O'Dea, will have to do a lot to win this primary. He really will. But looking at it, I mean, let's take a look at the primary results. Michael Bennet ran unopposed, but he got 516,000 votes in this primary. That's how many votes there were in the primary. 517,000 really. In the Republican primary, the vote total combined between Joe O'Dea and his opponent Ron Hanks, who lost by 9%, was 633,000 votes. And yes, I know people will be discouraged to vote in the Democratic primary more than the Republican primary because of the fact that Michael Bennet is the incumbent. He will win either way. Democrats didn't feel that they had to vote, and that the Republican primary was more competitive, and that it was you actually had a reason to vote in this primary. And I know Republicans were more encouraged to vote in these primaries in Colorado more than Democrats were. But still, it's still a case to be made in a Biden plus 13 state that there are like 100,000 more Republican voters in the primary than there are Democratic voters. That's definitely something to keep in mind. So it's not like Joe O'Dea doesn't have any shot. But let's look at some polling here. This polling is not very good in the state of Colorado. I think that we would like to see more. Eli Bremer ran one, who was a primary opponent to Joe O'Dea. Shockingly, it shows Bennett up by 8. But anyway, Progress Now Colorado, Progress Now Colorado, Progress Now Colorado, Progress Now Colorado. All of them are run by the Colorado Democratic Party. And, of course, all of them have Bennett winning. Duh. The most recent one is from McLaughlin and Associates. John Jordan ran it, who owns a huge super PAC. He's a winery owner from California. I don't know if you know him, but he's a huge donor to the Republican Party. He runs a super PAC, puts so much money into Republican campaigns, and still it shows Bennett up by 8. Yes, even in a biased poll, Bennett is winning by 8. And the only unbiased Blueprint polling, I don't believe it, I suppose by the name it would be sponsored by the Democratic Party, Blueprint, but I believe it is independent, and 538 says so too. It does not say any sponsor of the poll. And this one has Bennett up by 6. That was the closest one, and it's against, who is this? I forget their first name, Campana. Let's see. Gino Campana. Who's endorsed by Kellyanne Conway. Wow. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I just got a little interested there. But that was the only one where the Republicans came anywhere close. But with Joe O'Dea, we have 2 polls with him. One by Progress Now Colorado, which has him up by 13, and one run by John Jordan, which has him up by 8. So we can't trust these polls at all. But I mean, John Jordan, he is as it says here, he is a partisan sponsor for the Republican Party. Yes, a partisan sponsor. Yet it shows Bennett up by 8. So taking all of this in, despite the turnout in the Republican primary versus the Democratic primary, I do think that Michael Bennett will win this race by a likely margin win. I would place this at about a 7 or 8 point win by Michael Bennett. Joe O'Dea is going to do much better than Trump in the state of Colorado. But anyway, that's my final prediction. I believe that, well, I shouldn't say final. That's my prediction as of right now. I do believe that Michael Bennett will win a 3rd term in office, as he is very popular. Again, 7 or 8 points. But yeah. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click that subscribe button. Drop video ideas down below in the comments, and I'll see you all next time.